In India, there's a temple called the Kailash Temple, where this was not built, it was cut into a mountain from the top, okay? They took out some 4 million tons of rock. It's very difficult for any sculptor to work from the top down, okay? But they worked sculptures like this, hundreds of stone images and 3 floors of temple. It is one of the most incredible things that human beings have done on this planet. It's 4 generations of people, 135 years, maybe 5 generations or 6 generations of people, 135 years, they worked to the same plan. It is the most incredible piece of engineering and craftsmanship that human beings have displayed on the planet.
This may look like a simple, blurry picture of 2 kids, but if this creeps you out, that's because there's supposed to be only one of them. While preparing for a local amateur basketball competition in 2003, this footage was recorded on camera. However, this mysterious person was not seen by anyone at that time. Yes, this could be just another person, but it is argued that this figure has no shadow and is too dark even when facing the light. To this day, this mysterious figure is considered to be one of the clearest full-body apparitions in the Philippines. But is it actually real? It's up to you to decide.
Oh my god, no, that video that has passed is very scary. Man, what do you think that creature is? Is that a person? What's happening here now?
Okay, there's 4 organs that you must have to live: liver, heart, lungs, and brain. In med school we used to say liver, heart, lungs, and brain. Only these must remain. If in doubt, cut it out. So if you value your liver, since you need it to live, well, think about this. If you are addicted to these, Coca-Cola or any of these other soft drinks that have high fructose corn syrup, it's something you need to know. Fructose can only be metabolized by your liver. And if you're drinking a Coke or anything else, any other soft drink that's fully loaded with high fructose corn syrup, it's like punching yourself in the liver every time you drink one, okay? Because all of that fructose has to go to the liver, and if you get too much, more fructose than the body metabolizes, then it's turned into fat in your liver, and eventually you'll start having fatty liver disease, okay? So how many times you want to punch yourself in the liver? You want to do it every day? Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. I think you would want to avoid high fructose corn syrup, particularly in the form of soft drinks, as much as possible. Do what I tell you.
They have bad breath. Halitosis is a main cause. By the time you got halitosis, you're loaded, because that's worm urine and worm droppings that you're breathing out. So it's no wonder your breath's bad. The critters, when they pee, that's called ammonia. So just go to a doctor, have a blood test, and see what level of ammonia is in your blood. If you have ammonia in your blood, that's called worm urine. That's what it is. So we have a test to see if you've got a lot of worms. If you're on a fast and you're fasting and you're on a diet and you get a headache, you got the headache because the worms are all peeing, trying to get you to eat something else. They're trying to make you sick so you'll get off of what you're doing and start eating. So you take some arginine and orthodine, in a matter of 20 minutes, if the headache's gone, you've neutralized the worm urine and you know that you're loaded. All children that have little tiny pimples on the backs of their arms or little tiny pimples here on the edges of their cheeks have 5 varieties of critters in them. 5 varieties. It's time to deworm and it's time to get them out. Now what I found out is that vibration and frequency is everything. It is literally everything. If you take an aspirin, it changes the way you vibrate. And so it blocks the nerves so that you can't feel pain. If you take deworming programs, you change your vibration, and you change your vibration so dramatically that the worms and parasites either have to get out of you, this is no longer a good home, or they die in you. And then your lungs and your liver and all that stuff handle it. And you do it with water. And out of all of this, I handled my cancer my stomach and esophagus cancer, which is a terminal problem. I am the only that I know survivor of stomach and esophagus cancer in this nation. I'm the only one that I know. All right? I did it with frequency. A man by the name of Royal Rife in 1934 had a microscope and invented a particular device. I found one of his original devices. I used it, and it got rid of my cancer, and I haven't had it since. Now that was in 1934. So you can see what they've held from you. So what we did is we looked at Nikola Tesla, we looked at all his equipment, we did all his stuff, and I went out searching out original pieces of his equipment. I own more pieces of original Tesla equipment than any other human that I know. And so using lightning, 1,200,000 volts of kinetic energy, we fire that down a tube onto an absolute pure piece of silver. It's 99.99999 parts pure. It's as expensive as platinum. The lightning boils the molecules on the surface, and we spray clean drinking water as rain onto the surface, and the molecules explode into solution in angstrom size, and we can control the lightning, and what happens is it controls the field of flux around the tiny molecules of silver, and so therefore the silver starts to broadcast that into solution, and voila, we have a Rife machine in water. And I found out that all the planets that revolve around the sun are making noise. They're singing to each other. They're making noise. And then I found out that miraculously, when the piano was invented, they didn't even know about some of the planets. But when they tuned that piano, they matched all the hertz rates and all the notes to all the planets, and they got them all right. And they didn't have to tune a piano that way. Crazy Otto out of Germany played beautiful music, and he used an untuned grand piano to play his music. So they didn't have to tune the piano that way. They did. That to me was a miracle.
Oh, a lot of interesting stuff.
We're a fractal of the whole. And in a fractal, if you look at a hologram, if you go to the smallest piece of a hologram, you'll find the whole image in the smallest piece. The only thing you lose is resolution. And we're living in a fractal holographic matrix. That's what we're actually living in. And this whole thing is one giant energetic grid. And the thing about it is, distance is an illusion. The distance between where I am now in Florida and wherever you are right now in the world is actually, it doesn't even exist. We're local in the same location. We're still connected in the same location. Individuality, separation, all illusions doesn't exist. There's only one entity and one consciousness providing this third dimension with the illusion of separation. And quantum entanglement, and the way that an avatar body is set up, like from thoughts, for example, if you look at our mind, and then you also look at Einstein's theory of relativity, if you take a planet in space, it warps space around it. And that warped space allows things to fall toward the planet. That's right. The warped gravity, right, effect. Mm-hmm. Our conscious thoughts warp the ether of space-time and create this well. And that's how the law of attraction works. Things fall toward us based on what we're warping, what we're focusing on. The energy field that we're using to warp, that's what begins to fall towards us.
Your thought is what is being warped towards it, which is why you have to be careful what you think of.
Exactly. So we're creating our own gravity wells, and we're creating this situation where, we are entangling with information based on frequencies. And whatever that frequency we're on when we're thinking, that's the warp space that's now sending back low frequency things. Or if you're in high frequency warp space, it's sending back high frequency things. You're entangling with things in the universe based on the frequency you're at.
So one of my greatest questions is, well, these are such deep rabbit holes. And someone like my dad would be like, why are you looking into stuff that you can't prove? I'm like, well, you got to ask the question. If we can get closer to the answer, then I feel like I'll know how to live this life better. I'll know how to play this game better. So what does all that teach us about how to best play this game of life and be as happy and joyful as possible?
Yeah, great question. Because that's really what's on everybody's minds. Like, How do I play in the matrix here? Like, what am I supposed to do? And when I began to realize that I was on a data collection mission, and my mission was to not only collect the information, but figure out a way that I'm supposed to bring heaven to earth. I'm not supposed to wait to die so that I can live. I'm supposed to live now in this realm. And then when my corporeal body releases my spirit energy, I'm going to live again and again. And every ascension process, my mission is to achieve the highest, most best lifestyle, living entity, energy, help, love, expressions, artistic creation that I possibly can in every single dimension. And I think that for me, that's the understanding I got. And so when I figured that out, when I had that epiphany, I said, wow, my job here is to, how many people can I help? How can I assist others? How can I learn how to walk in abundance? How can I be true to myself? How can I be the best that I can be? And also, how can I stop and smell the roses and be blessed and enjoy my blessings and be thankful for every single thing that I get my hands on, everything that comes to me? How can I truly be heartfully grateful for it? I learn my lessons. When something happens and goes wrong or I make a mistake, do I continue to make that same mistake, or do I learn from that and become better and better and better? And that begins the process and the step-by-step process for ascension. And that will ride me out of this realm and out of this dimension into the next one, so I can continue to build on that and become better and better and better.
So it's to progress through the dimensions?
Yeah. See, the third dimension is a proving ground. It's a testing ground. It's an area, a place for you to come as an inexperienced soul and begin to learn and make mistakes and grow and see what you can do, and also a certain level of suffering. And then when you begin to master this dimension, I think that people who don't master it keep coming back over and over and over again. I think you can get to a point, according to Thoth and the Emerald Tablets, that you actually can then begin to incarnate at will, he says, where you can incarnate on and in the plane that you desire. So plane means dimension. So he's saying that you can get so good at this game that you can actually come back in any dimension you want, or any location you want, any time frame you want, past or present or future.
Whoa, that's crazy to think about. What do you think about
Coexistence,
Mia Khalifa's
please.
misinformation on history.
Israel has only been a state since 1948. Palestine is thousands of years old.
Sorry, Mia, you are wrong. Israel is 3,000 years old, 75 years young. And this is not coming from a Jew, but from a proud Muslim. The prophets of God whom I believe in were Israelites. A significant number of these prophets disseminated their teachings in the land of Canaan, a land which Joshua bin Nun later renamed Israel. And then King David proclaimed Jerusalem as the nation's capital. Yes, Mia, it wasn't Donald J. Trump, it was King David. Even Jesus of Nazareth, Mia, called the land Israel in the Gospel of Matthew. The Roman Emperor Hadrian expelled Jews from Israel, erasing the name Judea. He supplanted it with the Roman Latin term Syria Palestina, which evolved into Palestine. Similarly, the city of Shechem was changed to Neapolis or Nablus, which means in Roman Latin, new city or new place. The Jewish people, dear Mia, are not foreign colonialists in the land of Israel. I wish you'd inform your audience that Israelis and Palestinians ought to coexist peacefully, and that peace is the only way, not marring history or disseminating falsehoods. Please share this video as it may reach Mia and others, so that they know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
peace, man? Peace is what we should be talking about. And love. In the late 1880s, archaeologists around the world stumbled upon remarkable discoveries. The remnants of several crashed UFOs. Their unearthed alien technology sparked a frenzy of experimentations, leading to numerous knowledge. However, fearing the potential repercussions, governments swiftly classified the projects under a top-secret umbrella called the Project Icarus. What is that? In the late 1800s, the archaeologists around the world stumbled still the same thing. Whoa, this is crazy. What type of UFOs were these? These are UFOs that crashed here on Earth a long time ago. What do you think about them? However, fearing the potential repercussions, governments, this was classified. No wonder we don't get to see such information in the mainstream media or hear about it. I don't know what goes on, man. Why would the people want to hide information like this from other people? That's so creepy.
Here's what we're doing, okay?
Okay.
I've got a bag of peeled bananas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to weigh it.
Okay.
Okay, right. And we all know the number.
Yeah,
4,
yeah.
Okay.
0, 1,
1. Everybody knows the banana number.
Done.
Mhm.
So you put it on the scale, you weigh it.
Okay.
How much is it?
So 87, let's say 87 cents worth of bananas.
Okay, yep.
Okay? So now we're going to do the peels, exact same number.
Yep.
Right?
And these are the peels from those bananas.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
good.
exactly.
Yep. Okay, all right.
Place it on the scale. We have
Mhm.
45 cents.
45 cents.
So
Interesting.
almost half is the peel. So now we're going to do this with asparagus.
Okay.
They're broken where the useless part I would never use, okay? So
Okay.
the part that I'm going to eat tonight is
Yep.
$2.77.
$2.77, okay?
The part I'm going to throw away
Yep.
is $3.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Just not worth it.
Can you imagine? That's
I'm very
hilarious.
skeptical lately. And the reason why I'm skeptical is the government keeps talking about it. The Pentagon keeps talking about it. NASA keeps talking about it.
In which direction are you skeptical?
I'm skeptical that they're aliens. I think most likely it's a smokescreen. And most likely these are some sort of like incredibly advanced drones that they've developed that they want to pretend don't exist. That seems the more likely scenario, because otherwise, my take is like, what's the benefit of them discussing these things? Like, what's the benefit of them discussing these things openly? These are, you know, what the way they described it, off-world crafts, not made from this earth. Like, why? Why would they tell us that? I mean, unless there's an imminent danger of us being invaded, and they want to prepare people so they don't freak out as much. You know, like maybe freak them out a little bit, say that publicly. The New York Times article, the Pentagon discussing it, all these different things.
Test the waters.
Yeah. Well, let people know that this is a thing.
Yeah.
Or my take is like that. I don't think they do that. I don't think they tell us. I think the government has a lot of contempt for the citizens. I really do. I think they have contempt for our intelligence. They have contempt for our need to know things. And I also think they think that they are running us. It's not, we're all in this together and the government works for the people and the government is of the people. I don't think they think that way.
Yeah, the basic idea is you can't trust the populace to govern itself because we're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. I think that's accurate.
Well, they're not wrong, but they're also idiots, power-hungry idiots.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's an idiot, but I think there are enough idiots that it becomes a real problem if you're completely honest about everything you do.